I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me, and all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in my darkest night. You were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend. Oh, I have lived in the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. Every day, oh, all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. 'Cause your goodness is running after, it's running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. Oh, and I will sing of the goodness of God.
Well, this is a super fun group. I can't believe we actually pulled all this off with your schedules, but man, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Come
so
on.
pumped.
I mean, obviously, like an amazing song. We're talking about goodness of God. And we were just sharing a little bit before we even started recording of just what all has been happening with this song. And it's not often, usually when we do these interviews, we talk about the songs either before they're releasing or right at release. And so this is really special because we get to sort of reflect back and just see how this song has impacted churches all over the world over the last 2 to 3 years and what all has happened with the song. And so it's really great to be able to come back and talk about it now from that perspective. But I'd love to start with you, Jen, just with the story of the song and how the song got started, and then we'll make our way around and learn how everyone else kind of played a part in that.
Yeah, I'm coming to you live from my laundry room today. So thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you, pandemic. It's been beautiful, but also wild. But this song I wrote just over 3 years ago, and we'd just gotten home, I think, a few days after adopting our son, who'd be our fourth child, and our first adopted son. We now have 2. And I was in the car actually driving out to my chiropractor appointment, and I was just kind of overcome with emotion and thankfulness and this sweet baby boy that had been plucked from darkness into light, and just the gift that he is to our family. And, just looking over my life from childhood till now, just at God's faithfulness and through the highs and lows, just how he's been with me. And, you know, I had no idea he had a baby up his sleeve for our family. We thought we were done with 3 kids and on a new season of life. And, you know, God pulled a fast one on us. It wasn't even in our minds to adopt. And, but it was in his. And so I was just singing in the car, and I probably wrote like 50 or 60% of the song maybe in the car. And I just turned my phone on because I could feel the Lord on it, you know? And so I just turned my phone and just sang all the way out to my chiropractor. And then I think it was later down the road that I just needed to finish it. I needed help finishing it. And I had come to kind of a stuck spot, I call it. And Jason and Ben were in Reading. And were we doing a writing retreat, or what were we doing, you guys?
We were actually on our way to your chiropractor at the time.
He's a miracle worker.
Yeah. We were just spending a few days in Reading writing, and I still remember when you walked into that river house and you're like, I've just got this little idea, and you pulled the phone out and started playing Goodness of God. And Jay and I just kind of looked at each other and were like, well, what is there to do on this song? Like, it's just this incredible, beautiful song.
Yeah. And Jason, share your thoughts a little bit of just, I mean, you've been a part of some great songs for the church. And when you got the song, I mean, what were your thoughts? You're like, you know, did you have an idea at that point of like, man, this is something super special for the church?
I think Ben and I both did. I think we kind of got to be among the first handful of people to hear what God had put on Jen's heart. And just looking back on life, and like it's there's so much faith looking forward once you've looked back. And I when Jen started singing where she was at on the song, it definitely, what's amazing is it instantly felt like my song too. You know what I mean? And I think that's something really beautiful when, as songwriters, we write something that other people can feel like it's theirs as well. And so I immediately felt like she was writing my song as well. And so Ben and I, there's songs that you carry, you know, weight, you know, maybe you have to kind of like shoulder something uphill a little bit. This was sort of like, wow, can't believe I get to be someone that God trusted in Jen's life, that she would cruise over, and we're at the river house, and it was like we hung out for like an hour and then went and had dinner, and it was just, it was really sweet.
But I think we especially wrote on the second verse. I just remember being with you guys, and I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend. I feel like that for me is one of the most precious lyrics of the whole song, you know, is that one. But it was just this perfect thing. But then Ed came in to just do what only Ed does. Tell him, Ed.
Oh, geez. Well,
it's going to be kind and humble. And
I'd flown out to Reading to work, you know, on the Victory record. And we were in the river house. So we were just kind of, you know, doing some pre-production and stuff. And I remember we were going through songs, and then Brian played me a piece of this, and I was just knocked out, guys. I mean, like Jay said, I perfectly said it. Immediately, I was like, oh my gosh, I find myself in this. And it just felt like it didn't sound familiar, but it sounded like something that had been around for a long time, you know? And I was so excited about it. I think when he was just, I don't know if there was a bridge or not, but yeah, we kind of got to that moment. I just, you know, heard that bit, you know, your goodness running after me. Just the fact that God is like relentless, you know, the way that he just chases us down. And even in our darkest moments, it's like his grace, his kindness to sort of meet us through all the pain and the trauma of it all is it's pretty incredible. So yeah, I love this song, man. I have to share a couple of things. I mean, just because this song has wrecked me, guys. I mean, it really has. And, you know, we work on so much stuff. You write songs. I think it's less often that a song that you work on some capacity, whether it's production or writing, like ministers ongoing, like deep to your own heart. And this song, I mean, first off, Jen, like I'll never forget two moments with you singing this in the river house. The first day you came in, we were just all kind of gathered in that room. and you started singing it. And I remember Brian and I were just tripping. It was just like, I just felt the Spirit of God just descending. I was like, this is so powerful, and he had a little, iPhone video that he shot of that. And I just let that, we turned it into audio, and I just listened to that, let it wash me forever. Well, then when we did the Peace album, Jen, I will never forget just you at the, I'd played that little piano bit at the end, and you just started worshiping. And my gosh, sister, I mean, I felt like I was being invited into your like intimate, quiet time with God. Just to, because I think we were Zooming, and you were doing that vocal, and just being transparent. I've really struggled with a fear of flying, like a paralyzing fear of flying. And I remember several times over the last year, I would put that song on repeat on the Peace version, and literally I'd be weeping on a plane because I'd be flying. I had to fly a few times throughout this pandemic, and just like tears streaming down my face, and just like so lost in worship. And I felt the anxiety just totally lift, it was really powerful. So I just want to thank you for that. I don't know if I've told you that or not. It was amazing.
Wow. It's amazing. Going through the pandemic, it's like, it's clear to see the tough stuff everywhere, obvious, but, to really anyone I talk to about this past, 7 months or whatever, through the pandemic, every person I talk to, even though it's been weird, the good has so far outweighed the bad. It's every single person, different countries, different families, single people, married people, kids, every person I talk to, the good that God has done in their families and their personal lives, confronting things, especially us musicians, we can move on and kind of bounce to the next thing and escape things that we avoid. And, so many things that God has done in this wild year of confronting, and everywhere you go, there you are. It's been so beautiful. And the good things that have come to the surface, even through this wild time, have been pretty stunning. So it's an amazing, the testimonies that have come through during the pandemic about this song, that just like, man, this is exactly what I needed. And so it's just been beautiful.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, thank you guys so much. I know this was a time out for all of you to pull together, but man, what a great opportunity. I mean, I'm encouraged just hearing the stories that you guys are telling, and I know everyone else will love to hear this as well. And there's a million stories out there of people that have experienced amazing things just worshiping with this song, and like you said, Ed, of just the experience with the lyric and what this song is saying. And so thank you all for taking the time to talk to us, and man, again, just an incredible song, and thank you so much for sharing it.
What a joy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And all my life you have been faithful. Every day, oh, all my life you have been so